And speaking of the Milwaukee Bucks, this is going to be a fun second round series, isn't it? Milwaukee and the Brooklyn Nets matching up in the second round. This is going to be the best second round series that we have. And I predicted that the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets would meet in the second round or in the Eastern Conference Finals, really. I predicted that they would meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I didn't necessarily get it right that they would meet in the second round, but in fairness to me, I even thought that they would reach the Eastern Conference Finals prior to that trade for James Harden. Prior to that trade for James Harden. So when it was just Kyrie and KD, I thought the Brooklyn Nets would reach the finals and advance past the Milwaukee Bucks. But now you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, this is a different team. Obviously, they took 2 of 3 against the Nets in the regular season. But the caveat is James Harden didn't play in those final 2 games. And in the first game that the Bucks actually lost to the Nets, that the Nets won at Barclays Center 125-130, that was James Harden's second game in the NBA with the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving didn't play. So this is going to be the first time where we see the Brooklyn Nets against the Milwaukee Bucks full squad. Full squads. The first time the Nets big three taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is what I will say about the Milwaukee Bucks. I absolutely love what I've been seeing from the Milwaukee Bucks. The composition of players and the makeup of this team, there is something different brewing and percolating in Milwaukee. This is a different Milwaukee Bucks club. I think that the additions of Drew Holiday, PJ Tucker, Bobby Portis have added a little nastiness, a little physicality, a little toughness, and a little veteran leadership that was missing from this team a season ago. I think Drew Holiday averaging 15.7 rebounds, 10 assists, efficient and consistently delivers for you on both ends of the floor. One of the best two-way guards in the league. Again, PJ Tucker, a veteran staple, provides that brute force. Same thing with Bobby Portis. And I love what I'm seeing out of Giannis. Outside of shooting the free throws, 23.5 points per game, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. You have Chris Middleton coming up clutch, hitting a buzzer beater to beat Miami in game 1. That's going to go a long way for his confidence. And so I like the complexion of this Milwaukee Bucks team. And the most important thing that they have going for them is they're not afraid of the Brooklyn Nets. They're not afraid of them. They're not intimidated by them. Regardless of the outcome of the series, they're not intimidated by the Brooklyn Nets. But with that being said, because I do think that the Bucks are a much more mentally tough and a mentally stronger team than they were a season ago. With that all being said, I have the Brooklyn Nets winning this in six games. I said it before they made the trade for James Harden. I thought the Brooklyn Nets would beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games, and I'm going to stick to it now. And so the reason is quite simple. And I know that a lot of people like the Milwaukee Bucks, and I do like the Milwaukee Bucks a lot. But the reality is this offense for Brooklyn is so prolific that the biggest reservation I have about the Bucks is not their ability to perhaps defend, because I know that they've been exceptional on the defensive side of the ball, number 1 rated defense in the NBA so far this postseason. But the barrage of three-pointers, the salvo of long-distance missiles that the Nets are going to be aiming in the direction and throwing and unleashing in the direction of the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know if the Bucks can answer that. I don't know if they have the three-point marksman to match that. I like Bryn Forbes. Drew Holiday can hit it. Chris Middleton can shoot. Pat Connaughton. Yeah, I like that. But with the exception of 3 guys on the Brooklyn Nets, Nick Claxton, DeAndre Jordan, and Bruce Brown, every single other player can hit the 3 ball at a high clip. When you've got 3 guys that can go off for 104 points, I don't care who it's against. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, KD dropped 104 points against the Boston Celtics. I don't think people fully have grasped the magnitude of that. 104 points among 3 guys in the same game. KD's been averaging 35 points and 8 rebounds on 55% shooting, 45% from the three-point line. James Harden giving you 26 and 11. shooting the same exact numbers as KD, 55% from the floor, 45% from the three-point line. Kyrie's doing his wizardry with his dribbling display, just toying with guys, 25 points. Just dropped 39. And then everyone talks about the big three. It's really a big four when you think about Joe Harris is in there as well, giving you 14 points on 54% shooting from the three-point line. Joe Harris. So I do think this series will be extremely tight and competitive. I think each game will be competitive. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about if every game is going to be close down the stretch, which is how we have to assume that it will be, and I'm relying on Chris Middleton to close every single game for me for the Milwaukee Bucks, or Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, I'm going with KD or Kyrie over Chris Middleton. That's really what it comes down to. I think each game will be close. I think it'll come down to the wire. But down the stretch, do you trust Chris Middleton to hit a buzzer beater like he did over Miami more times than Durant has done that in his career? I don't. I don't.